A Cold Night of Truth by Femi Sousa. One cold winter night on the planet Earth, a man was driving down a mountainous road by the ocean when suddenly, out of nowhere, a mysterious figure came out of the road and crashed into his windshield. Based on the environment he was in, he figured that he had probably hit a moose or a deer. But little did he know, he had just ended the life of another human being. The man stopped his car in a halting screech and promptly got out of his damaged vehicle and began to carefully walk towards the back of his car. As he got closer, he suddenly stopped and fell to his knees as he realized that what he had hit had no antlers or hooves, but hands and legs just like his own. He had killed another human being. To his horror, he walked up to the deceased body and began to go through his pockets in order to obtain the man's personal information, such as his name, age, and home address. In tears, he began to debate in his head what he should do next. His options were to call the police, which would definitely lead to his arrest, or the latter, which was throwing the body into the ocean. Sadly, he chose the latter. The man then decided to run back to his car to switch it off, so no ongoing passbyers would notice the horrendous act he was about to commit. He then went back to the body and began to drag it towards a nearby cliff in order to throw it off into the ocean. He eventually got to the edge of the cliff, and with hesitation, he threw the corpse off the cliff, nearly falling off himself. Splash! The body hit the water, and he smiled with tears in his eyes as he let gravity do the rest of his job for him. When suddenly, he saw a flashlight shine towards him from a few feet away. He turned around and tried to run, but he realized he had nowhere to go. The flashlight got closer and closer, and he realized he had to confront the person who was coming towards him. The person finally approached him, and he cowered in terror because he thought he had been found out. As the light got closer, he started to make out the figure of a child. The figure got closer, and the light shined in his face as he heard the voice of a little girl saying, "Dad, is that you? I found your fishing pole on the side of the road nearby this car." The man was shocked as he realized he had killed the little girl's father, and she had now seen his face. Apparently, they lived close to the area, and the man was teaching his daughter how to fish at night, since the moon's gravity pulls the ocean's tides along with fish at night. As the girl got closer, she stopped and screamed as she saw the man's face along with blood all over his hands. The man then grabbed the little girl and threw her off the cliff to her death. He then took off running back to his car and proceeded to drive off and go home in tears. The next day, he woke up in a melancholy state, realizing what he had done the previous night. But part of him told him that what he did had to be done and was necessary for his own survival. Out of his own internal conflict, the man got himself some breakfast, along with his opinion, a well-earned shot of whiskey. He then turned on the TV to the news as he dropped his plate and glass. To his horror, he saw that the girl had survived the fall off the cliff, and his face was all over the news now. Standing up with no care, he then walked to his kitchen where he grabbed a knife as the police knocked on the door, and the scene ends with him dropping his knife. The moral of the story is, it's better to tell the truth rather than hide it because it only makes it worse. Had the man called the police and told them the truth, it would probably have been ruled as an accident, but in the end, he chose the wrong option and paid for it.